Nice job. I have many questions about this film. One of them is that my father served in Pacific Fleet. Was
Really?
on 3 ships. 2 of them were sunk.
Really?
Survived both of them. The last one limped back into harbor. But he has a special. My father has a special bond with all of the survivors that he fought with in World War II in the Pacific Fleet, unlike
Really?
anything I've ever experienced.
Right.
Even in sports or work or anything. I would imagine after working on a film like this, you kind of understand that.
A little bit, yeah. I hate to, I don't presume to put myself in the shoes of someone like your father, but I definitely think I have a bit more beginnings of, certainly appreciation, if not an understanding. Yeah.
Was the experience of working on this film, and this is a big question, what you thought it would be like going into it, or was it totally different?
I don't think I had any set ideas. It's one thing you learn about Terry quickly is you better not expect anything, because he's certainly going to surprise you, which is glorious in a way. It keeps it interesting. But even with I got to know Terry pretty well in the process, the auditioning process. So I didn't have any. You're best to be open when working with Terry. He's going to surprise you at every turn.
I don't want to deal in gossip, but because you spent so much time with him, I have to vicariously live through you because we don't really get to talk to him.
Yeah.
And I'm fascinated by him, and I live in Texas, and he does too.
Mm.
But at the same time, how does he direct you? How does he get out of you what he wants? How does he communicate?
That's a big question. It varies actor to actor. I think he uses different methods with different actors. With me personally, I can only speak from my own experience, really. And the very little I observed him direct other actors, but personally, through he inspired me, Terry, through his depth of thought and understanding of humanity. He's incredibly tolerant of everything, fascinated by everything, in a way, the same way a child is. He doesn't judge an insect any more than he judges Jesus, fascinated by a blade of grass as he is by a great mind. There are no. He doesn't take anything for granted. And he thinks more. I imagine he expresses himself through metaphor mostly, and analogy. His thoughts are usually too deep to express directly. He can't. He can only use analogy and metaphor, and frequently just does all the time. And often they're very amusing. He's very witty, Terry. Incredibly dry humor, very sarcastic, particularly for an American.
Do you feel like after the film experience now that you understand his eccentricity more?
Yeah, he's eccentric. He's a true eccentric. He's not weird, I don't think. Yeah. Weird's the wrong word for Terry. He's just eccentric. You can't. Who knows what goes on in that mind? But it's beautiful.
The character that you play, what's his heart like?
What's his heart like? Mm-hmm. What do you mean?
Inside, what's troubling him, and what does he really celebrate?
He misses his wife. He's turning. That's his survival mechanism in the war. That's his personal one. It could be a lot of the other guys, but we see it with him. That's what he represents within this movie. And it's Terry was often talk about this, but it wasn't the perfect relationship. He idealized it, as we all do when we're apart from our loved ones. It becomes this perfect paradise that we want to return to. It keeps us alive while we're away. It keeps us sane through the horror. It wasn't perfect by any means. It was highly sexual, and she probably had a wandering eye, which he desperately doesn't want to be the case while he's away, but certainly was in the way Terry expressed it and the way he wanted it to be. That there were glimmers of doubt that we see in moments where she's looking through a window, for instance, when she looks troubled when I'm walking up to her in that flashback at the base camp. It wasn't perfect, but it became perfect because that's what he needed when he was away.
Oh, nice job.
Oh, thanks very much.
You're an amazing film.